So do you remember Shiloh Hendrix? Shiloh, how the fuck you say this woman's name? Okay, we spoke about her before. She's the racist YT woman in the park screaming racial slurs at a autistic child. No, you heard me right. An autistic child. Well, guess what? Finally, charges have been brought against her. She's facing 3 misdemeanors, disorderly conduct, and facing up to 90 days in jail. But this isn't even the craziest part of the story. The craziest part of the story is that they raised over $800K for this woman to move because she was in fear of her safety. They also did raise money for the child as well. I want to say up to $325K for the child. But they raised over $800K for this racist woman seen on camera, documented on camera, to help her move because she was in fear of her life. Well, guess what, baby? The only place that you moving now is you about to spend that 90 days in jail. Because we got to start holding these people accountable for their actions. Meet me in the comments. Let's talk about it.
Hi, my name is Shamarke Umar. I'm the guy who recorded that video of that racist woman that was insulting a 5-year-old child at the park here in Rochester, Minnesota. May I remind you guys, I have a clean criminal record. I've never committed a crime in my life. I am being punished for standing up, speaking up for a child. My address got leaked, my phone got leaked. I'm getting death threats by the minute. I have 4 children, the youngest one on the spectrum. He needs to go play outside every day. He can't anymore. So, doing the right thing gets you punished, and doing the wrong thing gets you rewarded. Make that make sense, America.
Hey y'all, I just wanted to hop on and talk about the Shiloh Hendrix situation while I'm out walking, so I won't be able to look at you guys. But if you don't know about this, Shiloh Hendrix is a woman who a few days ago was in a park and a 5-year-old autistic black boy was allegedly rifling through her diaper bag. She thought he was trying to steal from her. We don't know what's true, what's not, but what we do know that's true is that she called him the N-word several times. Well, then when she was called out about it and held accountable, she started a Give, Sing, Go fundraising campaign to raise money for herself because she painted herself as the victim of white hate, and she wanted this money to relocate for their safety. That fundraiser now has over $300,000+ in donations, and the comments under it are so abhorrent, saying things like, "This is why we don't need brown people here. You're the mom of the year. We're a white country. We need to be that again," and things much, much worse than that. Y'all, I mean, just comment after comment of the most vile, racist rhetoric you could ever imagine. Like, it's time for whites to quit being victims and to take our country back from all the brown and black people. I mean, and things I won't even repeat. And here's what I want to say to you all, is that people are like, "Oh, what a terrible situation. It's such a bad situation." Yes, but also, it's not a situation in America. It is the state of America. And as much as my fellow white people want to say, no, racism is a thing of the past. I mean, sure, you have a few people, but it's not really a thing anymore. It is the state of this nation. It is why we are under a Trump administration, no matter what horrific things he says. It is the state of the nation we are in. It is not a one-off. It is the prevalent ideology. White supremacy and the systems that uphold it are the prevalent ideology in this nation, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. And it is time that we admit it. And by we, I mean white people, because black men and black women have been telling us this for decades and decades. But we refuse to admit it or say, "Oh, it was my ancestors, it wasn't me." If you are not actively working to dismantle the systems that put white people above other people, you are just like your ancestors. It's just a different kind of whip in your hand. So yeah, it is you. If you're not speaking out, if you're not standing up, if you're not voting for people or being political people that can be voted for that are upholding diversity, equity, and inclusion and standing up for the rights of Black people, of other people of color, and so forth, you are just like your fathers and mothers of past. So, y'all, it is time, white people, it is time that we do the work of dismantling white supremacy and its ideologies and the systems that uphold it, so that we can make this country truly a nation of liberty and justice for all. There's more about this on my Substack. It's the same handle as here. I wrote about it in depth, but just, I'm so upset over what has happened to this precious little Black boy and the state that our nation is in, because it doesn't have to be this way. But if we ever want it to change, it will be up to the white people of privilege to stand up, to speak out, to take criticism from other white people, to maybe lose some opportunities, to face some harsh realities and some pushback, but saying that this is a worthy cause to stand up for. The lives of Black men and Black women, the lives of people of color and so forth, are worth us standing up for. And if that means you lose some friends, those aren't friends you want to have anyways. If that means you lose opportunities, they're not worthy opportunities. It may cost much, but it is so worth the cost. And the first step to doing the work of dismantling all of this mess is admitting that it's a problem. So, to be clear, I absolutely denounce Shiloh Hendrix. The things that she said to that young Black boy were wrong, racist, evil, and full of hate. And we cannot allow that rhetoric and those type of actions to happen in this nation anymore. It is time to stand up. It is time to speak out. And to every Black man and Black woman and Black child, I am with you, I am for you, and I am going to fight with everything within me to dismantle this white supremacy and this racism that has been the foundation and the prevalent ideology of America. It's time to tear it down and rebuild it back better and for all. Liberty and justice for all, because our nation has never actually been that kind of nation. But I believe that if we are willing to do the work, if white people are willing to do the work, Black people have done the work forever, right? It's time for us to do it and use our privilege for good. If we will do the work, I do believe that what we hope for in our hearts, we will hold in our hands. But it will take work. And the first step is to admit that there is a problem, and there is a problem, and it is racism and white supremacy in this nation. I love you guys, and like I said, if you want more of my thoughts in depth, go to my Substack. But yeah, I just want to hop on here for a minute and talk to y'all. Love you guys.
Hi guys, my name is Olivia and welcome back again to the channel. So we all know about the white woman Shiloh Hendrix who called the 5-year-old, autistic Black child the N-word. So, instead of fixing the consequences, she opened a fundraiser and people donated almost $1 million. She said it's for her to find a safer place. Now, let's be real. This is not just about one woman. It's about a system. A white woman calls a Black child a racial slur, one of the most violent words in the history. And instead of outrage, thousands of people rewarded her with cash, donating money. That's not charity, guys. That's solidarity with racism. Yeah. Now, think about it. Almost $1 million for calling a Black child the N-word. What does that say? It says racism, pays off. Yeah, it says white supremacy isn't just tolerated, it's profitable. And let's be real, the child's family, the actual victim, didn't see that kind of support. Yeah, they got something, but wasn't that much, They got sympathy, yes, but, nowhere near the wave of money poured into defending witness. That's the system, guys. Protect whiteness, ignore Black pain. So here is the truth. Every dollar donated to her was a message. It was a message that hate can be monetized, that racism can be rewarded. Okay, so if you find this video very interesting, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing to the channel, and let me know what you think in the comment section about this whole thing.
I'm going to keep talking about it because every time I see it, I get disgusted and sick to my stomach. There's a picture in my DM like, oh, Shiloh Hendrix's donation has been defunded. No, it hasn't. It's still up and active. I just left the website. It's still up and it's still active. Only in this country can you profit off of hatred and racism. There is no reason she should be about to be a millionaire from traumatizing a little black child. And this goes to show you, look at all the names on the website: anonymous giver, anonymous giver, anonymous giver, anonymous giver. They've done what they've done for hundreds and hundreds of years. They cowardly. They hide their name. They hide behind sheets. They hide behind all of that. They don't never want you to see their face because they're cowards. Another reason is because it's your doctors, it's your lawyers, it's your judges, it's your politicians. They don't want people to know that that's what they believe in. See, 2025, to these racists today, they're smiling in your face, but then, behind closed doors, they still keep them same awful, disrespectful values. And I want to bring light to that, to anybody saying that racism don't exist in this country. Are you okay? Are you not seeing what's going on? What she did wasn't right, and she should have criminal charges brought against her. You can't verbally harass a young 5-year-old. Her claim is that he was going through her diaper bag. I don't believe her. And even if he was, you think that was the appropriate response? Kids do stuff all the time that don't make no sense. 5-year-olds are naturally curious. If he was going through your child diaper bag like you say he was, then you should have said, hey, don't go through my son's diaper bag, there's ways to handle that. But no, you called him that because you were waiting on a moment to do that. And then the man that filmed it, she said he had a problem with law enforcement. Look at you. You should have some.
The Shiloh Hendrix situation is literally why I don't take white people serious when it comes to racial tension and social issues. You feel what I'm saying? And this is why I didn't take them serious when they were talking about Carmelo Anthony. They didn't care. They just want to see a black man in jail, right? And we're correlating these issues because they saw on camera that a white woman calling a little black boy the N-word, right? Being violent towards that little black boy. They watched that happen. And they still said, you know what, we're still going to give her some money because she says she needs to relocate. What are you talking about? If you guys felt as that's why we said that Austin Metcalf is nothing but a catalyst for you guys. Because if you saw this situation and you saw it happen on camera and you saw that she didn't have any remorse for it. She said that's what she feel like he deserves. And again, this is a little black 5-year-old boy who probably doesn't really understand what's going on, that this outside of this white woman being violent towards him, that you watched that happen, you still gave her money to relocate. That don't.
I started searching and trying to figure out how can I find this funding source.
This is absolutely amazing, and we got to make sure to blow this creator up. So as we all know, Shiloh Hendrix has raised over $650,000, on her way to $1 million. Give, Send, Go, doesn't really care. People have tried to report it, doesn't matter. But this creator used her coding skills to dig into the HTML and JavaScript.
They are not the bank. So I thought, we got to find their bank. Most banks, especially payment processors, they will cut that shit off with any type of doubt or controversy. They'll usually just cut it off, right? I went and I broke down the code on Give, Send, Go's checkout page line for line. And there were keywords I wanted to look for, right? And I found the keyword Block Inc., right? That's familiar, right?
And Block Inc. owns Square, which has very big policies against hate-filled and discriminatory fundraising. So Keandria, I hope I'm saying that right, launched a coordinated campaign to flood with complaints, crashing the support bot of Block Inc. and dropping the stock over 24.5% after it crashed. Coders started volunteering to join in and monitor the actual processing, and what you saw is they tried to switch it over to Stripe. She's urging people to file complaints with the FTC and the CFPB. It's only going to help increase the chance of a paper trail and holding platforms like this accountable. Also, side note, she does mention that she is receiving death threats, but to go ahead and tag her in this information. So if you are a white creator particularly, tag the original creator. You can file a complaint with Square or Block. You can email Square directly. You can report to the federal agencies and then obviously file and tag the original creator that had this idea. And if you're wondering what the end goal is here, I'll let her finish it out.
Tell you about this payment processor and their so-called policy. Now, Square and Block Inc. have a policy that details that not only do they have the right to pause your payouts, but they have a right to hold the funds indefinitely. If they find that you violated their policy or if they stop payment for any reason, they have the right to hold that money to protect them from disputes. So we're hoping that they hold the payout and those assholes never get refunded.
Welcome to America, the only place where you can make a video about a woman calling a child the hard ER, an autistic 5-year-old child at that. And a certain demographic will literally do everything, bring up every single topics that has nothing to do with the situation, besides speak about the topic at hand. I repeat, the topic at hand is she has raised over $600,000, over $500,000 for, again, calling a 5-year-old child the hard ER. And if you go to her campaign, you have people like Jesus is King supporting this. And I'm not sure if I can show it on here, but a whole bunch of racial comments. And people will literally, like yourself, come on here and talk about every single thing else. You didn't make a single comment saying, oh yeah, she wrong for that. A racial slur. What the hell are you talking about? This is crazy. This video wasn't about any other instances. It was literally about a woman being mean and hateful towards a 5-year-old, a grown woman. What the hell are you talking about? Even if that was the case, you literally have not said anything about her being hateful towards a 5-year-old. I'm not sure if you know this, but your hate is showing. Your ignorance is showing. Your true colors are showing.
Let's keep this fun alive. Let's keep this fun alive. For those that just tapping in, we are fundraising for the 5-year-old boy who has autism that was called the N-word by Shiloh Hendrix with no remorse. And then she turned around, went to Give, Sing, Go, and started a fundraiser that's almost at 400,000. And you gotta see the comments in this remark. So we fundraising, y'all. But right now, I need one more ask. I got one more ask, my people. One more ask I got for you. Gotta do this. I want each and every one of you guys to go to Give, Send, Go. Hit the need help tick. Contact us. And I need you to report this fund from Shiloh Hendrix. Alright, I'm gonna post the letter of what I sent. I already did this, right? And write from your heart why this fundraiser is a threat to public safety. How can you incentivize racism? Can you see the future of that? Can y'all see how many more Shiloh Hendrix are gonna be out there waiting to do the next thing to the little next black boy or black girl she see at the playground? This is gonna start something that we can't close up. And we need to report it, put it on ranks, complain it, put it there just in case we have to meet them in the courts. We have the evidence. So go to Give, Sing, Go, Shiloh Hendrix fundraiser. Go under, you gotta copy the link to her fundraiser. Go under it and write and be as descriptive as possible about this fundraiser and how it's unethical, how it's a threat to public safety, and how we demand to have it taken down right now. My last ask. Until then, let's keep on fundraising, guys. We head to 1 million.
Why the fuck? Do y'all know I've been trying all this shit to become a millionaire, and you mean to tell me all I had to do was use a racist word? The fuck y'all keep hiding all this information from me for? I don't like no shit like that. You trying to tell me I could have became a millionaire? You could have. So y'all trying to tell me, Shiloh, you better be mother fucking glad I won't at that park that day, baby. You better be the fuck glad I was not at that motherfucking park. How you gonna disrespect that little 5-year-old boy talking about he did something to your son? Girl, you should have put your son down. I ain't gonna promote that. But look, y'all, I want to become a millionaire. Like, I got a couple of words I could use. Oh, fuck. We out here trying to do all this shit, and I'm out here getting vending machines, and out here, like, and y'all mother effers trying to tell me all the F I had to do was use a racist slur? Hey, first of all, before, I just need to know, because, you know, us in the BLK community, we be kind of tight with $1.
Yeah, we definitely be tight with $1. So I just need to know, are y'all on that trend first before I let loose? Yeah. Before I let loose, I need to know y'all gonna cover me. Just comment below, alright? Like we could go start me a GoFundMe, like, cause they paying people to be racist. Like, the fuck? Boy, wait till I tell my. All you gotta do is. Let me go ponder on this shit a little bit. I'll be back.
I just want to address a few of the excuses that other racists gave Shiloh Hendrix for calling that 5-year-old autistic black boy the N-word. One of the biggest ones that I saw was that he was stealing from her. First of all, he's 5. How much can he steal? I don't think it's going to be Grand Theft Auto. Secondly, no matter what was being done, that is not an excuse to use a racial slur. How does that solve the situation? How does that fit the situation? Let me tell you how I would handle it if I saw that happen. If I saw a little boy going through my purse somewhere, I would go to him and go, "Hey, buddy, where are your grown-ups at? Are you here alone? You know what? We don't go through other people's things, but let's go find your grown-ups, okay?" He's 5. Simple. Easy peasy. I'm not going to get all up in his face and be mad at him. But let me play devil's advocate for those of you who need to go from 0 to 100, who have to get bent out of shape and turn everything into drama. If you needed to yell and scream, why couldn't you say, "Get out of my bag, you thief. Get out of my bag, you brat," versus "Get out of my bag, you N-word," right? And let me tell you what the difference is. When you're saying to somebody, "Get out of my bag, you thief," you're saying you're stealing from me because you're a thief. When you say, "Get out of my bag, you brat," you're saying you're stealing from me because you're a brat. But when you say, "Get out of my bag, you N-word," you're saying you're stealing from me because you're black, which inherently is saying because you're black, you lack a morality that I have as a white person, which is not true. The color of somebody's skin does not determine their morals and values. Those things are not tied. So using the word alone for any situation is confirmation that you are racist because you are attaching morality to skin color. That's it. There is no argument about it. The concept is easy to understand. This woman saw a child, a very young child, going through her bag. And instead of doing what a normal human would do and say, "Hey, buddy, you know what? Let's not go through other people's things. Where are your grown-ups at?" She got all bent out of shape, which alone is enough to show that she's not okay, right? Screaming and yelling and and used the N-word. Didn't call him a thief, didn't call him a brat, didn't call him spoiled, didn't call him whatever. No. She had to attack his race as her point to why he had no morality and was doing what she thought was a wrong act. So yeah, she is a racist and she is a white supremacist, and all of you using it as an excuse for her to use that word, saying he was stealing, you are racist too, because you too connect race and morality. I mean, you're selling yourself out as a racist. You're magnifying it. And for all of you who say, free speech, you're right. She absolutely has free speech. She has free speech to say whatever she wants. And I also have free speech to call out what she freely spoke and call it racist. I'm allowed to do that because free speech, right? You might have free speech, but you are not free from the consequences of your free speech. And when that free speech is attacking a young black child, not because they're stealing, but because they're black, and you think black equals stealing, yeah, I'm going to speak up against you freely. I'm going to call you out and hold you accountable. And all of you in the comments who stood up for her, you should be ashamed because you are just like her. So it doesn't matter. You say, where are the parents? Doesn't matter. It's not a reason to use a racial slur. Oh, the guy filming, he's an SA predator. Doesn't matter. It's not a reason to use a slur, which some of y'all use slurs against him. You said he's Somalian. being Somalian is not what would make somebody an SA predator. It would be that they are a human who is a predator. And I'm not saying he was that. I don't know. But so it shows that you see skin color, because all of you mentioned it in the comments, which I went through and deleted all of them because I'm not keeping those there. But all of you went through, and every time you said the person filming is a predator, you didn't just say they're a predator. You said as Somalian, that's a predator. You felt the need to make sure to say that, which shows me you attach race with morality. And you see dark-skinned races, black people, you see, and I've seen it on other videos, Hispanics, so forth. You see that as a lack of morality just because of the color of their skin, right? What is it y'all said about the Mexicans, thieves, and rapists, and all those things, right? Why? Because they're brown? Please. So anyways, I just wanted to address that. That the reason that no matter the circumstances, the worst of circumstances, which this was a kid, being a kid, and it should have been handled the way you handle a child, right? But even if the worst of circumstances happen, there's never an excuse to use the N-word or a racial slur, because race is not connected to morality, and your need to use it is you admitting that you do connect race to morality, and you think white people are more moral than black and brown skinned people. So, happy Sunday. Amen.
What pisses me off about seeing videos of Shiloh Hendrix and other Karens being racist isn't the racism. It's the fact y'all not beating their ass. Lord knows if I was in that situation, wouldn't be no talking. I'd make sure they couldn't talk again. Meanwhile, y'all giving them clout for what? And I feel like God or some sort of divine power knows who to put in these situations, because it never happens to people like me, right? 6 feet, 200 pounds, muscular. I'm a decently big guy. It's always women and children.
Are you guys really surprised about the situation with the lady named Shiloh and what she said to the 5-year-old African-American child? I'm not surprised at all. And here's why. In private, they say these things all the time. Ones that you wouldn't even think. They sit up and they talk this type of talk amongst themselves in private. The ones that you wouldn't even think. She got a $1 million campaign going on, which she's collected over $400,000 of it. So that tells you that people are supporting this type of behavior. They're supporting this type of rhetoric. And the current administration, they've emboldened these people to bring it all out now. It's already been there. They just embolden them to bring it out more. Just be flamboyant with it. So no, I'm not surprised. You just got to know who they are. And it's not hard to figure out. So don't be surprised at it. It's terrible, but don't be surprised at it.
Around late April 2025 at a Rochester, Minnesota playground, Sharmaik Omar, a black man, recorded a confrontation with Shiloh Hendrix, a white mother. Omar directly asks Hendrix, "Did you call that little boy the N-word?" referring to a 5-year-old black boy on the playground, and she responds, "Yeah," and even repeats the slur when pressed, stating, "if that's what he's going to act like." Soon after, Hendrix launched a fundraiser on GiveSendGo titled "Help Me Protect My Family." In it, she wrote, "I called the kid out for what he was," which functions as an indirect admission. She has raised over $800,000 from mostly racist white people, obviously.